there was a murder of a British citizen here. It cannot stand. To debate this, joined now by Alexander Nekrassov, a former Kremlin advisor. Now, Alexander, you tweeted last night about the suggestion that these two men, these two murderers, might be gay. Why are you trying to suggest that these cold-blooded, hard assassins may have just been here on a romantic holiday? It just beggars belief. They're saying themselves they're not gay men. Why bring their sexuality into it? What is the relevance?
That was the subject that was brought during the interview by the head of RT. So that was just basically a joke about her. And the point of the matter is that if you think that these two guys are secret agents, then you probably have a very, very false idea of what secret agents are and look like and talk like and so on. The whole so-called operation that they are supposedly have conducted, it's just beyond belief. And I think the only reason why they were shown on Russian television was because for people to have an idea what they're about, as people. Now, to claim that...
Well, they certainly didn't look like a gay couple to me. And I just want to read out the tweet that you posted, Alexander. The feeling in Russia is that two gay men went to Britain for a bit of hanky-panky and got busted as secret agents trying to poison Skripal. The conclusion, homophobia by the British state.
Well,
where's the homophobia?
Well,
what point are you making?
The joke was that the woman who was interviewing them suddenly introduced this whole subject herself.
Yes,
that was very unusual for Russian television.
But do you not believe that, given she works for Russian state television, that this is all part of a propaganda play, Alexander, to distract from the subject at hand, which is the fact that these two are brutal murderers?
No,
working on behalf of the GRU.
There is no proof, of course, yet. And
there's categorical proof.
No, there's none.
There's forensic proof.
No, none. And I also would like to suggest something. When we say that Russian state TV channel, BBC is a state channel as well. So to press this all the time, the Channel 4 is a state channel. This means nothing.
Absolutely. And very often I would say the news on the BBC and Channel 4 cannot be trusted, which is why you need to get it from Talk Radio or The Sun.
Well, that's a good pitch. I agree with that. I agree with that. That is a commercial.
At the end of the day, Alexander, look me in the eye and tell me that you believe these two men were gay holidaymakers in the UK for a weekend of hanky-panky. Look me in the eye and tell me that.
I have no idea who they are.
Well, you tweeted that.
I think that what I've seen on television tells me they are no secret agents. That is my opinion.
Why? What proof
Why?
do you have?
Because I know how secret agents behave. And this is not the secret agents. And the way the whole pattern unraveled, by the way, tourists behave like that. Tourists are usually very strange when they come to another country. And when they say,
Alexander.
No, let me finish. Why did they go, to Salisbury, then they came back and did this and this? I can tell you, tourists do the most stupidest things. And when you go abroad, and I do it myself, when I go to France, I don't understand anything. I don't talk the language and so on. And to see some sort of pattern in things...
Alexander, I'm not going to keep listening to this explanation because you're living in a parallel universe here. These two people have been found guilty by forensics and intelligence.
No, they were not found guilty.
And the only evidence that you actually have is to say that you've seen this interview and you don't think they're acting like secret agents. Give me some proof. Give me some evidence.
Well, give me some proof yourself, because I have seen no proof at all of their guilt.
You don't trust the British government's forensic evidence that these two men were responsible.
That forensic evidence proves nothing. By the way, they missed even the timing. When these two supposedly put this poison on the door handle, the Skripals were already away from the building. So somebody else poisoned them somewhere else. So you see, when you say there's proof, The proof is no proof, unfortunately.
Don't you think?
And I think that, basically we have to presume they're innocent until they're proven in court that they're guilty. When you have so-called proof by forensics, that does not give you an opportunity to say, this man is guilty, give him 10 years in prison. You have to give him a chance in court, right? Now, these two, I think that was a very confusing interview. I think that, they were talking about some things which were very odd. For example, they were asked, what do you do? What is your job? And then suddenly they started to become very evasive and basically were forced to say it is some sort of sports nutrition or something.
Yeah, but did you not understand? That's because they're agents working for the GRU.
Oh, no. The agents would have had a beautiful story to tell with all proofs and everything. The agents are not idiots. Come on, they're professionals. They're trained. This lot, both of them, was saying absurd things that doesn't make sense. By the way,
Alexander,
I looked up the media, the Russian media, before I was in the room, and the Russian media also says this is not convincing.
Yes,
this doesn't convince.
I know, but do you not understand what is going on here? You're choosing not to understand, but what your government has done, and it's particularly disgusting, but this is what you expect from a government that chooses to kill journalists that attacks it. But what your government has done is hang these two men, Alexander and Ruslan, out to dry. You have discredited them. You've ruined their lives. You've claimed that they're gay in a country where homosexuality is illegal, and you've done that to confuse the issue, because at the end of the day you want to try and discredit them because we have forensic evidence and intelligence proving that they were responsible for the murder.
This is not forensic
and
evidence.
You're taking the mickey out of the UK. Why is Russia doing this?
No, nobody's taking the mickey out of UK. The point is this.
You are.
No, you have to give me time
to
say something. The point is this. Nobody's laughing at the fact that chemical weapons were used and people died, right? You can't laugh at that. What their people are mocking is the way this whole so-called investigation has been presented.
Well, who do you think? Who do you think tried to poison Skripal?
No idea.
Do you think it was a Russian?
No, there's no idea. Nobody gave us any other versions.
Well, who in the UK gets Novichok?
Oh, there's many people. First of all, we don't know what sort of poison it was because if...
Well, we do.
No, we don't.
We do.
People would be dead.
There's forensic evidence.
No. People would be dead. And these...
There are.
No, the Skripals would... First of all, you have to change your tone talking to me. You're a kid compared to me. So please,
well, I don't think
behave
age,
yourself.
I don't think age
you're
has
a presenter.
To do with
no,
this,
you
Alexander.
invited me to the show. You should be polite to me.
I'm a British citizen. I'm a British citizen.
So what? Well, talk to other people like that. I have not done anything wrong against anyone.
You are trying to defend a regime that has entered Britain and murdered.
No, you have no
one
proof.
of our citizens.
You are now making it up. You're making it up. You have no proof at all. None. Zero. None. You are pointing to certain facts that prove nothing. You have read some papers which are writing something which I don't even understand.
Can I ask you, Alexander, are you proud of your country?
Of which country?
Russia.
Well, of course I'm proud of the people.
Are you proud of the Russian government?
No, I don't like the Russian government. Nobody likes the Russian government in Russia itself.
Because I also want to ask you about the member of the Russian protest group Pussy Riot. There is a man who ran onto the pitch protesting during the final of the World Cup. He embarrassed the Russian government. He embarrassed your president, Vladimir Putin. There were actually jokes at the time, Alexander, saying, gosh, you've got to be careful if you're this guy because he might be knocked off. And sure enough, Pyotr Versilov has now been poisoned.
It's not yet clear, by the way. He's in hospital, but I can tell you something. When they ran on that pitch, I tell you, I thought they'd go to prison. They didn't. I mean, they were quite...
No, he didn't go to prison. They've just murdered him. Or tried to murder him.
Well,
he's lost his sight. He's now lost his ability to speak. He's now lost his ability to walk. What do you think's wrong with him?
Well, listen, if you want to talk on this level, downside, let me ask you this. Are you proud of your government invading Iraq and killing 1 million people? If you're going to play this game like that, I can turn it around and say, you're a murderer. You live in a country that sent
But we have democracy. We voted
that's
that,
not
we
democracy.
voted that government
No,
out,
excuse me.
Alexander. We voted
no,
that
no,
government
no,
out.
no, no, no.
The Russian
you
people
killed a
do
million
not have
people
an
in another
opportunity.
country, so what you voted out doesn't matter to
The
these
Russian people do not have
So you
an
have to
opportunity
understand.
to vote out
No,
Putin. And I'm a gay man. I'm not even
There's nothing to do
allowed
with the gay man.
operate in your country. Do you think it's right that the Russian
There are
government
gay
believes-
clubs in Moscow. You can go there easily.
But
Have
homosexuality is illegal.
Nothing. No, it's not illegal, by the way.
You-
Who said that to you?
Homosexuality is illegal in
No,
Russia.
you don't even know this for sure. What is banned is promotion of sex using... You had the same 28th clause here, and now you are telling me that was the point, the same point you had in Britain. So why are you telling me it's illegal if there are gay clubs open? Please, come in. They're all over Moscow. So how do they operate? Illegally? I don't understand what you're saying.
You have anti-gay laws.
It is
in
not an
Russia.
anti-gay law, by the way. It is promotion of any sex for minors using public funds, just like you had in this country.
Do we now?
No, you banned it, okay, so it will be banned as well. So you must understand, you can't...
Do you believe democracy exists in Russia?
No, you can't...
Alexander, do you believe democracy
No, there is no
exists in
democracy
Russia?
anywhere, even here. There's no democracy left in this world. There's censorship everywhere. So we are talking about how do you feel about this and this, but the whole tone of your interview is not a sort of a proper interview. It's just you make a statement, and I have to agree with it. There has to be a debate. There has to be you prove something to me, I prove something to you, we disagree,
But
we
Alexander,
agree.
the fact that these two men entered our country and ended up murdering
there is no proof
a
of that.
British
There is
civilian
no proof of that.
is proven.
No, it's
There
not
is
proven.
forensic
No.
and intelligence evidence.
It is not proven.
It
That's
is.
the point, no. The investigation continues.
Okay, then I've got an idea. Why don't they come to this country again? Why don't they get interviewed by the police and then we'll see?
First of all, quite a logical step has
Extradite
been made.
them.
They
Let us
showed
interview
them.
them.
They now are asking the British police to come in to file a request. There is a law, by the way. There's an agreement between the two countries, already been used by both sides. When the police is invited to come in, interrogate these people, then decide whether...
But if your argument is right, and these are just two gay men looking for some hanky-panky, then surely they would want to come back to our country and clear their name, Alexander.
I think they will, actually. And I think they will even take to court your government. Why not? If they are not guilty...
You think they're going to sue the British government?
No, if they're not guilty, and their lives have been destroyed, and they have been, basically, they say they have to live in hiding, why not? Why not do this? Because there is no proof. You say it's proof. I don't see any proof. There is no proof. At the moment, these two men are just being slandered by the media that decided...
The Russian media?
No, why the Russian media? The British media.
Well, it's the Russian media that have decided to out them as gay men, despite the fact that they claim
nobody
they're not.
actually outed them, by the way. So the point is this. They, at the moment, are not guilty. If the police want to go and question them, they should. By the way, they should, because they have labeled them as people who tried to kill the Skripals and basically murdered one woman who was absolutely innocent and had nothing to do with this. What the problem is that nobody in the police investigated any other options, which are numerous.
Because, Alexander, there is no other option.
No, there are
These two
many.
men entered our country with Novichok. They tried to knock off the Skripals and failed. So the Russian government aren't happy with them because they failed, but they ended up killing one of our citizens. And it's unacceptable. And just imagine if British intelligence officers were operating in the same way in Russia. How would you feel about that?
Well, we don't know, first of all. And secondly, as I said...
You'd be disgusted.
You must understand something. Every government is guilty of something. Yeah, the British government, the American government, wars have been started on false pretenses, people dead, and so on. If we continue to remember who did what, we will never end. We will never stop. Governments are disliked in every country. I mean, I suppose you know many people who dislike May. I know many people who dislike Putin, and so on, so on, so on. But life goes on between people. And this particular case, I don't see any proof at the moment. But I tell you something.
Yeah.
If the Russian government is proven to be involved in this,
They have been.
no,
They have been.
no, there
They
is
have
no
been.
proof. There is no proof.
They have been.
Then there should be consequences for all the people involved. Definitely.
Alexander Nekrassov, the former Kremlin advisor, thank you so much
you.
for being here on the show.